This was the topic of the morning brief newsletter, which Miles wrote, and it's fascinating to see what people are searching right now on our site.
Yeah, it really is. So typically on a given day, we bring you guys trending tickers, right? Which is a great tool on our site that shows what Yahoo Finance users are most interested in. So our Jared Blickery, who you guys know well, as our stocks editor, markets editor, he has now compiled the 4-week trending tickers, which is really telling. It's not necessarily surprising, but it's still quite interesting. And I guess drum roll, the top trending ticker over the past 4 weeks is Dogecoin, which sort of ties back into what you were saying about Elon Musk and tweets, right? And speaking of which, of course, Tesla is on that list as well. But it is interesting how, this joke coin, and it's clearly, it's sort of baldly a joke coin, how it has really entered the consciousness of investors and has really been of such high interest to people, Brian.
Yeah, and it's also quite interesting, too. Look, these are some of the most volatile things, the most volatile asset classes out there. Dogecoin, Bitcoin, you have AMC, some of the hottest tickers on the site. And it's interesting because, I think we can make the argument that trading activity has slowed down relative to the peak in January. People have returned to the office. They're out there working again. And yet, they're still logging on each morning and they're checking some of these volatile asset classes in the hopes of potentially making a quick buck.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? That the things that are the most volatile are the things that people check the most because they want to see where they are at that particular moment in time. And so, as Miles wrote in the morning brief, what we effectively see here is that these longer term trending tickers are really capturing the zeitgeist of the market right now. And those are the themes that we talked about. In fact, we talked about them some at the top of the show. Cryptocurrencies on the one hand, meme stocks are another bucket that we tend to watch. But, you also have some of those sort of perennial big stocks, widely held stocks, things like Apple and Amazon that are still on that list as well that, are always of interest. And then these others sort of come and go. And we'll see. I'm really curious as we get into the second half of the year, what kind of staying power these themes are going to have when it comes to crypto, when it comes to meme stocks.
It's interesting, too, Julia. I'm just looking at some of the hottest tickers on the site right now. We mentioned Oatly in the open there. There's a fundamental story there. The company just IPO'd yesterday. We talked to the CEO, Tony Peterson. They're opening up new manufacturing plants. They'll probably expand into new products. A fundamental story there, especially compared to Dogecoin, which really there are no fundamentals. You have John Deere out this morning, the 4th trending ticker on the site, blowout earnings report, optimistic guidance. And then last but not least, a stock we mentioned at the top of the show, Applied Materials, one of those semiconductors that's on fire right now because of the shortage.
Right. So I guess it goes to show that news still drives this interest as well, even if you get some of the stuff where it doesn't matter if there's news or not, right? That people just look at it and the volatility sort of feeds on itself, Brian.